Paltrocast.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you. Well, not in person, but at least at the same time.
Exactly. Well, James, Mark, Nick, a pleasure to be speaking with the three of you. At the same time, tell me how your day is going so far.
That's going great.
Really wonderful.
Yeah, we spent a few hours in the studio today, which is every musician's favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, tell me more about that, because last night's Kiss came out last month. That's a new single to us. And your band has been putting out single by single rather than going album by album. So tell me more about this studio work you're doing.
Yeah, so we're just kind of chasing for the next single after last night's Kiss that released in August. So the idea is that we're just kind of trying to build hype so that we can finally release an album sometime next year. That's the goal for next year is to release an album. So we're just kind of slowly introducing single by single, and we've kind of added a different flavor to every single. So yeah, we're just kind of introducing ourselves.
Would that full-length album have the prior singles or just all new material?
Yes, I think it would just encapsulate all the singles that we're going to be releasing between now and whenever the album gets released. Yeah.
Got it. So when somebody comes to see your band live, what do you play? Meaning, is it just the singles and the next few songs, or do you mix in covers with that?
Yeah, we have. It depends on the gig. Some gigs we like to play covers, and we kind of try and blend like where we're playing, and if we play at a place, we'll try and research what do the people there like to listen to, and we'll try and find a list, and we go, oh, we actually like that song as well, so we'll try and do the cover of that. But it really depends on the place. We'll obviously prioritize our own music over the covers, but it's always fun. It's always fun to get people to sing along also.
For the most part, we play all our material from the studio sessions that we're going to release. So the audience can get a teaser, and we'll slip in maybe one cover or something like that.
Just to get it going.
Right. Well, each of you, what's your favorite song to play live from the catalog of the band?
Let's see.
For me personally, it's an unreleased song called "The Journey." I get to use my dad's old guitar for the sound. That's kind of the highlight of the song. So yeah, that's a special one for me.
I like playing Rise off of our current catalog, because on the synths you got a lot of knobs, and that's always fun to play with the knobs.
For me personally, I'd love to play Games We Play. It's our previous single, and it's just very chill vibes.
That's true.
Just groovy, like it just makes you just move a little.
Well, interesting thing about your band, not just the music, not just being a great rock band from Bali, but that you've supported some excellent bands on their Asian tours. How does this usually happen? Is it you have a great management team behind the band?
I think it's a natural thing. Before we opened for Prep, a UK band in hard rock, and one of our good mates, they have a good relationship with hard rock, and they're like, hey, this cool band's coming, how about you guys want to open for them? Just purely, Bali's a small island, people know each other. But once we're in this new management, 12 Wired with the label, that's also credits to the team, man. Like, it's such a blessing to be able to have these opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. We've been playing, last year we played at a great festival called Head in the Clouds here in Indonesia, and like we got to share the stage with like some awesome artists. So that was so after we play, we get the privilege of actually just watching these guys play,
Yeah, a lot of learning experience as well, because you get inspired as well by all these artists, and then it's a really great feeling.
Well, you answered a question I was going to ask. Is your next single going to come out through 12 Wired? And it sounds like they are a long-term partner.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, these guys are our extended family, and all the work we've been doing since last year have been with these guys, and it's been an awesome ride. We've gotten to meet a whole lot of people that we would have taken us ages to come and meet, but it's been an awesome ride with these guys.
And last week I had the pleasure of speaking with another 12 Wired artist, Bree. Now it's really cool to see that all of the 12 Wired artists like each other. They're not competing against each other in that, hey, they get more attention than me. Who else is affiliated with 12 Wired?
We've got this up and coming artist called Bling Out Kid. Yeah, and I think right now it's just the three acts. Yeah, we've kind of created this this little kind of family, you know, with all our uncles and aunts helping us behind the scene.
So the uncles and aunts behind the scenes, your dad's guitar when you play. It sounds like a wonderful family out there that we should all be jealous of here in Asia.
Look, I mean, that's just how it is, you know, in Indonesia, and actually most of, you know, the Asian countries, it's all family is in the middle of everything. Family is super important here. So
Yeah.
every time we get together with new people, it's kind of like extending our own family here, you know.
Well, when you're not busy with the music stuff, where does your free time usually go?
Oh, man, the three of us do quite different things.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Because we're based in Bali, we live there, we grew up there, you know, and I guess Bali to Indonesia is like Hawaii to the States, you know, like it's a beautiful island. It's not hard to just bask in the nature or go to the beach.
Right, yeah.
But the scene in Bali is also great, the music. So I like to go to watch some local bands, you know, Bali bands, support some friends.
Yeah, quite a lot of them are our friends too. So it's always cool to go out and then see them kind of rock out on stage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the beach is right around the corner. So we're, you know, we kind of bump into each other at the beach sometimes. We go, hey. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, our life outside of our own music revolves around just music in general and the beach. And every once in a while, we'll make a trek up to the mountains. Because Bali is so small that, you know, from the beach to the mountain only takes about 2 to 3 hours. So, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So I guess we love to be with nature.
Yeah.
That's the balance.
Now, being a beach town, we are in a beach town here in Long Island, New York. But the thing is, we're 25 miles outside of New York City. How far are you from the city? In other words, is there much of a music scene, or is it just a bunch of great bands that occasionally play?
I mean, Bali's music scene is it's completely different to like the big city, as you said. Like Bali's main city is Denpasar, but it's not a city like, you know, we don't have any sky rises there. It's not like here in Jakarta. How far away is it? I mean, it's not that different, but it's smaller, it's more intimate.
And the venues are varied as well, because, you know, you have a lot of the tourist venues that cater to tourists. But then you also have some, you know, some scenes where you got some punk bands or some grunge bands, you know, inspired by the Seattle sound of, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
It's quite varied. So I'd say it's not difficult to get a taste of a few different styles of music, few different scenes and bands like that. But still a lot of tourism. So there's still that side of the island where, you know, a lot of cover songs. But on the other side, that's where the good stuff's at.
The good stuff. Yeah, the Seattle sound never gets old in this household. Well, for better and for worse, because it's not happy music, but it makes you feel good, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a good vibe. It's good energy. Yeah.
So my last question before I let you all go: what's the last concert that you went to for fun? Not a gig that you were playing, not a gig where you were guest appearing at, but the last thing that you went, I want to see this live, because I'm not sure all of the same tours come to us as they come to you.
Yeah.
Well, the last gig was probably, well, for me, it was a gig in Bali, back in Bali. A whole bunch of like our friends' bands kind of on the same day released 4 albums on the one. So sorry, 4 bands released an album each, rather.
Okay.
So that was a wild night going to each gig one by one, but eventually made to all 4 gigs. Yeah, that was mine. There was a whole bunch of bands. There was like this band called Soul Food. There's this band called Wallaby. Yeah, and so on and so forth. How about you guys?
Yeah, I think the last great concert that was really fun for me was Head in the Clouds in Jakarta, in the capital city. We had a lot of acts from all around Asia and the States, you know, some names that are always seem to be in a good light, like Rich Brian, Nicky, you know, fellow Indonesians who seem to break through and cross over the international market. So
Yeah.
that's really inspiring for a bunch of Indonesians here.
Yeah, I'd have to say I gotta agree with Mark as well. It was very inspiring, and it was just like pure music, like joy. It's really fun, and
We don't get as many concert opportunities in Bali
that's true.
because in the big cities you have bigger venues. So the fact that we were here for that was just a blessing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for taking the time to speak with me. I'm really glad that there's more music coming soon, and hopefully we get you over to New York in the near future. But in the meantime, keep up all the great work, and thank you for putting out the positivity and Seattle sound into the world.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us, Darren. It's been a privilege being here.
If you're
Thank you
ever
so
in
much.
New York, I'll hit you up for a bagel sandwich.
Paltrocast.